Across the way is a restaurant called Greenbelt, and to my right hand side is the famous Ayala Triangle, which is a park. So it's kind of like New York's Central Park or something like that. It's obviously a lot smaller, and it is a triangular shape. Unfortunately, with the Ayala Triangle, as you can see to my right hand side, it's under construction. So about half of the triangle, the park itself, is actually being redeveloped as condominiums, boutique luxury condominiums. It's a little bit disappointing and disheartening because Makati already has so few green spaces, unlike BGC for Bonifacio that has a lot of green space, and whereby the developers have to actually build a part of their land size must be either courtyards or space, green space or parks. They don't have this rule in Makati here. Very unfortunate. About Makati in Manila. Makati is known as the main business district and the oldest business district really for Manila. Driving through the old financial district here in Makati, you'll see on your left hand side is the Gramercy by Century Properties, and also by the left hand side there, and I'm focusing in on it now, is the famous Trump Towers. Now, with Trump being the president, it has more exposure than ever. To the right hand side of Trump Towers and behind that the financial district, you actually have what's known as Pete Burgos. Pete Burgos is actually the entertainment and or red light district of Makati and Manila. If you're looking for some action, this is the place that you'll get it. Wow, notice those little kids that are chasing the car. It's crazy. So arguably it probably is the best place to go for entertainment or for business. The thing is, the only issue is really most of the buildings are a bit older. For me, I personally like that. I personally chose to buy an investment property in Makati because it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper than a place like Fort Bonifacio, and I was able to locate a property for as cheap as 60,000 pesos per square meter, which is a bit over $1,000 American per square meter. So the other thing that Makati does have is the Greenbelt and Ayala. So Greenbelt is like a massive mall whereby, you know, there's a big garden or park-like area in the middle of the mall, and you can walk between the mall sections of the mall. So there's 5 sections. So you got Greenbelt 1, Greenbelt 2, 3, 4, and 5. The Garden Mall. The entire mall here is one giant garden. The mall, the buildings itself, are situated around the park will garden itself. Tyler. Hey Tyler, how you going, buddy? You like walking in the mall here? Hello. This is one example of some of the shopping in Makati. Makati, I would say, is probably the best city of all for shopping. You've got things like Greenbelt, you've got Glorietta, and you also have the Yala Triangle. So Yala, although, like I said, it's being built out now, half of the triangle, well, a rectangle might be left, as well as some luxury boutique condominium development. Not only is Makati affordable, it's also trendy, and there's so much to do you can never get bored. Whereas BGC is a little bit smaller. The other thing too is BGC is a little bit out of the way, and for access it's not so good as Makati. Comparatively speaking, Makati is actually more expensive. So if you look at new developments, up and coming developments by Yala, actually those developments in Makati are on par and the same price as BGC, or if not more expensive. So if they're more expensive, then having a look at it and comparing it to some buildings like mine that may be around about 8 or 9, 10 years old, something like that, that are only 60,000 per square meter, and new buildings are 200 to 250, maybe even 300,000 per square meter, you're probably much better off trying to find something that's second-hand, within 10 to 15 years old, and something under sub 80 to 70,000 per square meter. Look at that LFA. Well, there's definitely money here in Manila. What I love about Makati is some of the old buildings. Some of those old style buildings have some real character about them. Whereas in BGC, everything is new, it's modern. And yes, it's well thought out, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you are, you know, infrastructure here is fairly atrocious. Makati is those old, charming, character style condominium buildings. So you've got these old kind of gothic style buildings similar to like a New York or a Sydney, whereas you don't get that in BGC. All of the condominiums are brand new. They're within, you know, 5 to 10 years old. And yes, you don't have the problems too associated with old buildings, but I like a place with a bit of character, and I like to save money. And at the end of the day, you know, for the price of, you know, 60,000 per square meter, and, you know, buying something new for maybe 180, I'm going to have to pay 3 times the price. At the end of the day, it comes down to investment, and investment and return on investment is far better to buy something that's, say, 10 or 15 years old. Whether you decide to live in Makati, BGC or Ortigas, wherever it might be, the best advice I can give you is wherever you're working is where you want to live. So wherever you're working is where you want to rent and buy. Why? Because at the end of the day, traffic is just so bad. Hey guys, well, I'm going to eat myself an Aussie pie from Harry's. when you look at new properties and the price for new properties, like in BGC, whereby it's 200,000 plus per square meter, and same in Makati, then you have to wonder, you know, purchasing property for around about 60 to 80,000, you know, existing property in Makati is not bad. It's actually a very good investment. The other thing too is you need to consider the rental return, which is actually really strong. I personally get anywhere between 10 and 12% net figure on a permanent rental for a property in Makati. So whether it be Makati, Fort Bonifacio, BGC or Ortigas, everyone's got their favourite areas and favourite restaurants and things to do in these areas. So look, I would like to hear some feedback from people. Let me know your thoughts. Do you prefer Makati? Do you like BGC? Or is it Ortigas? Or is it some area that I haven't mentioned here? It could be something up and coming. Ayala Alabang, for example. Mate, I've even heard they're developing out in Cavite now. Let me know, and please like and subscribe at the bottom here. Thanks guys, this has been Peter from the Property Club.